All right, sorry I got cut off before. But so I had to stretch out, which is easier. I don't know. I had to stretch out my ligament slowly, and now I can't like put my leg up, my foot up all the way. It's still kind of angled a little bit. Um, so when I walk, I have to walk a little bit. I don't know. It's not pigeon toed. Pigeon toed is in, right? I don't know. That foot kind of goes out a little bit because I can't bend it completely. Um, I had a limp for about 2 years. I had a limp. Now I don't limp unless it hurts. It gets stuck. That's always fun. Like I can feel it. Like I'm trying to move my foot, and then like it gets stuck, and then it's like, well, if I have to walk, I'm gonna have to push it, and then it's just like pop, and it really hurts. Um, I have to wear a brace all the time because it's very unstable. So I wear a brace. I'll show you. Back the chair up. See, a brace, and that's like as far as I can move it. So I have to wear my brace all the time, um, and a lot of people want to know what happened to the dude who hit me. Well, he fled the scene, and um, of course, most of the time it's like all I could tell him was all I saw was the front of a big brown truck. But luckily, there was a bunch of people around, and I mean that was like seriously like the pastor was in the parking lot of the church getting into his car about to go home. There was a lady talking to her friend on the front porch of her house. The guy driving behind me. Then there was another kid who was like walking to a friend's house. Like there were a ton of people there, and this guy was known in Bay Minette. People knew who he was. So like the officers are asking me if I could describe him. Like I don't know. I don't live here. I don't know these people. I've never seen them before in my life. And the people around me are like, "Oh yeah, his name is Max. He lives down the street there." And da 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 da. And I was like, "All right, these guys can help me." So of course the police waited at his house, and he never showed up. And then the next day they drove back by, and he was there, and they arrested him, and they wanted to get him for drunk driving, but um, because he left, they couldn't do his blood alcohol levels, and so doing it the day after wouldn't have been admissible. So they got him on a felony hit and run with injury. What is it? It was like a class C felony or something, and he confessed. I mean, it was so funny. He's like, "Yeah, I drove away because I knew that I was going to be in trouble. I have 3 prior felonies, DUI felonies, and I don't have a license, and I don't have insurance, and all this stuff." So he knew he was going to get in trouble. He said this in his confession. And then when we get before the judge, his excuse for leaving was, "She got out of the car, she started running after me, and I got scared." It's like, and the judge was like sitting there with the paper, with my medical records. He had my X-rays. He had everything. He knew I'd been in a wheelchair. He knew, like, I was still in a cast at this point, and he's sitting there and he looks up. He's like, you know. So that was pretty funny. Um, but he ended up getting 20 years, and in the state of Alabama, if you have prior felonies, you have to serve at least 80% of your sentence before you're allowed to be paroled out. So he will be in there 18 years before he's even eligible for parole. So I will be like 40 something, 42, I think, by the time he's eligible for parole. Um, and I'm 28, so he has some time. Um, but yeah, like I said, I have arthritis. My knees really messed up, like really messed up. Um, Probably 2, 3 times a year, my knee will go out of place. Like it will like January, end of January, beginning of February ish. Um, I was just going to sit down on a bench at the foot of my bed to put my shoes and socks on, and in the process of sitting down, my knee popped out, and I mean, I screamed like bloody murder. Woke my brother up from a dead sleep. He came running down. My stepmom was up on another level. She came running down. She's an RN. So I'm expecting her to know exactly what to do. Like, I'm not going to touch it because usually it pops out. I just pop it back in. It hurts like, crazy. But, I deal with it. I limp around for a day or two and then I'm fine. Um, so I didn't touch it because it's like my stepmom's an RN. She knows exactly what to do. She gets down there, she panics. Like, you're an RN. You're not supposed to panic. She's like, well, it's different when you're not in a hospital and it's your own child. And, that whole thing. So she didn't know what to do. And so I just grabbed it and I popped it back in and I was fine after that. I could catch my breath. And it's like my brother's on the phone with 911. It's like, I'm going to call 911. Okay. And I pop it back in and it's like, never mind. Um, but so that happens a lot. It happened in an airport once. So I'm just like, I'm a mess now. But spending 6 months in a wheelchair, like I gained a lot of weight because I couldn't really be that active. And then um, my right side, because it was my right ankle, um, my right leg is smaller, and I mean significantly smaller because of the muscle atrophy. And I can't really build up the muscle because I can't move my foot well enough to be able, like, I can't stand on my toes on that foot. Like, I can on my other foot, and I've got, like, serious thigh and calf muscles on that leg. But, like, my right side, if I have to, like, go up on my tippy toes to get something on a top shelf or something, like, I'm always on my left foot because I can't put any weight on my right. It's not strong enough. And so that's a little bit about my car accident, all the joys. But wear your seatbelt. Wear your seatbelt. Um, if I had not worn my seatbelt, I would have gone through the windshield and I'd probably be either dead or a vegetable. So wear your seatbelt. It saved my life. So that's my thing for the day. And next up, I think will be yet another video. So you will be seeing me shortly. Bye.